everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Connecting Greeks podcast. I'm Ari, and I'm here with my two favorite co-hosts. Let's start off with my lesser favorite, Foti Stamos. What's up, Foti?
Ari, thank you for that wonderful introduction.
As always, yes.
Yes,
It leads up to my favorite of all time, Mr. Angelo Tsaroukas. Hello, Angelo.
Peace out, brothers. What's going on?
How are you?
How's everybody? Good. Did everybody enjoy fake Easter? I hope you did.
I enjoyed it because we
got the. Oh, did I say that? Yeah, I did say that. So for people listening, yes, the real Easter is May 5th. Cinco de Mayo with Greek Easter. Okay, that's what it is.
No, Ange,
I'm very excited about our guest today. I met this gentleman a few years ago when I was doing shows in Australia. He works with the I want to say the Greek City Times. Is that right, Nick?
That's right. Yep.
Greek City Times. He has a book that now we went to the Sydney Harbor and they had an exhibit. And I was with the guys from Ouzo Talk, good boys, Nick and
Yep.
we went there and Nick and Tom. And their Nick's pictures were up all over the place. I saw these people looking at it, and I was so impressed with the what I think what we would consider our pride and joy, the Avzones, and his book. I think it's the Avzones collection now because I have
They're right in front of you.
keep the thing on.
Watch
You see
your
the
face.
background, but it's I got the book.
Oh, they're
out of-
right here, Angelo.
I've got the book.
There,
Yeah,
he has it right there.
Have a look. That's nice. Yeah, yeah. There it is.
There it is. And guys, I got to tell you, I was so impressed with it. And Nick is a very accomplished photographer, journalist, promoter of Hellenism.
Mm.
And we went, and then this wasn't a Greek event. We went down with the guys to have a coffee, shoot the shit down by the harbor. And I saw this stuff, and I was so impressed with it. And when I asked him, he says, "Yeah, well, come on your podcast because, as you know, Nick, this podcast." But anyways, enough blah blah. Nick Bourdo, welcome to Connecting Greeks podcast.
Welcome, Nick.
Thank you.
Good
Thank
to
you for
have you
having me.
And listen, we just had Icosiped de Martio,
No.
which was a busy time for you, so we had to wait till after
Yeah.
because of this. And guys, I'm not kidding you. When you see the book, he gave me this book. I have it as a table book at my home. People come over and pick it up right away. And they don't realize, we don't realize now, in the book, the guys that are walking around the book, the shoes that they're wearing is my name, Tsaroukas. Okay, so these are the books, so, and we made a joke about it, but the reality is, if you see how wonderful the pictures at the Acropolis, in the marching parades, everything. So Nick, tell us how this all came about. I mean, everybody wants to know what happened.
Well, first of all, I got version 2 out.
There you go. There you go.
There you
Sure,
go.
yours shows up better than mine.
I went. Well, basically, it's about the Avzones. I've been shooting the Avzones now since 2016. It happened all organically from the Avzones coming here to Australia in Sydney. And then after that, My Greek Odyssey, Peter Menaeus, that TV show. Have you seen it? Have you guys seen that TV show, My Greek Odyssey?
I've seen clips of it.
Yeah, I've seen, yeah.
So I went on the first series to produce a book for Peter, and I was on the boat for a month with him, over a month. And the first port of call we went to when we went, it was 2017, was the Avzones, the Acropolis, raising the flag in the morning on a Sunday morning. I took these amazing photos, and from there, I just kept on getting invited back and organically just kept on taking photos of Avzones. Left it. Nothing really happened about it. It wasn't until 2019 I went to an exhibition. It was my mates. And I looked around and I'm like, I should do an exhibition one day. What have I got of Avzones? And I did. So within a year, we got it all together. And then Mitsotakis was actually coming out to Sydney, and we had it all ready, and COVID hit in March. It was February 2020, it hit, and we had this whole exhibition. And Bill, that the owner of Greek City Times, because we were getting the
Good guy.
feed through. Yeah, great guy. He rang me and he goes, "We're getting the feed, and we knew something serious was coming." He goes, "That exhibition, put it away for a year." Okay, no, we've got all this. It's an amazing exhibition, 29 photos, really large prints, canvas. And so we put it away. So over that time in 2020, 2021, His Eminence Archbishop Makarios saw the book and he loved it and wanted it part of the 200 years celebration. So we took it around 2021, 2022, 2023. I saw Angelo in 2022. That's when you saw it. And did I mention that I was going to Athens with it? I don't think.
Yes.
Yeah, I did, because that's where we did the deal the day before. That was a Saturday. I did the deal on Friday. Took it to Athens War Museum in 2023, the whole exhibition, a new exhibition too, new prints and everything. The presidency loved it that much. I actually donated it to the presidential palace and the garrison. And I went back in December, it was 19th of December 2023 last year. They reconstructed that whole exhibition that was at the Athens War Museum. The whole team came to the garrison, reconstructed it in the garrison.
Wow.
For the president of Greece, Miss Katerina Bourdo. And she came for 1 hour to have a look at it, and I gifted her the whole exhibition and everything, and I sat with her and all that. It was something surreal. Again, someone from the Greek diaspora, from down under, has captured Greece's favorite sons, and it's now permanently on display in the palace and in the garrison and in the presidential. So yeah, it's something. It's a big journey that I've had. A lot of community support. The Athens exhibition would not have happened if it wasn't for the community coming together. We had a fundraising evening. We've had community from Melbourne to Canberra, the guys here in Sydney, all the little communities here in Sydney all got together, and yeah, and then I donated the whole exhibition. So we're talking a very significant amount of money, because these prints are large prints and they're printed on the highest quality canvas. And yeah, and that's my little story about the Evzonis. Yeah.
Well, Nick, this is the thing, and that's why Adi and Forti and I, the whole gist of this podcast is showing remarkable stories like yours. You're in the other end of the world. Our parents, like all our parents, got on ships and went America, Canada, South Africa, Australia, which has one of the largest populations outside of Greece.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that, you had this passion for, like you said, the pidiamas, the Evzones, and the fact that you gifted it to them, and your work will be permanently there for Greeks and anyone visiting around the world. This is a guy from Australia. So I commend you for this. And I think that's what we try to do with this podcast. Get these stories. We want people to know now, if they go to Greece, they can come and see it. And guys, I'm telling you, Nick and Tom told me we're going to meet Nick. And we had a coffee at, what harbor were we at?
Darling Harbour was at the Maritime
Darling
Museum.
Harbour, which is really cool. And guys, you go in there and his pictures are up all over the place. And you're seeing people watching this. And this is how you preserve a culture. This is how you preserve heritage. This is how you preserve people. And we need more of these stories. And the book is fantastic. Like, I showed it to my daughter. And I saw her, I said, I'm just going to hand it to her. And my daughter's 11 now. And I wanted to see, and I saw her going through the whole book. She was, Daddy, these pictures are really nice. Do you know this man? I said, yes. I said, he took all these pictures, and the way you designed the book, it's the right amount of text that coincides with the pictures. And I thought, what a great tribute. The fact that they, at the War Museum in Greece, that they said, look, we want all your stuff. And your name's going to be on that forever, generation to generation. But you see, again, it shows me, and I think Fortinati will agree with this, is that these are the stories, these are the people, the movers, the shakers that do this. And I think for a long time, Greece wasn't embracing that. But I think now, and Mitsotakis was just in Canada with Trudeau on Ecosiped de Martillo. And I think now, because it's a global economy, look at us. We're in 4 different parts of the world right now, and we're all together here. What do you must see? And I think that's the thing. Guys, what do you think? I don't know.
I mean,
Well, go ahead, Fucky.
if I can follow up with what you're saying, we'll have Ari kind of end off with this thought that you're right. Like without these platforms that are existing today, like this show and probably other shows as well, that as individuals in our respective communities, there's some Greek, despite of their background, that's making an impact, whether it's in their local community or within our culture. And the only way to actually know about this is through these mediums, right? This podcast has been gracious enough to bring people like Nick and others to showcase what we are doing and what we're capable of.
And there's, I mean, as far as Greeks go, there's a lot. But I had not to change modes, but I had a question for you, Nick. You mentioned that everything was set up and you were going to do a show and everything. And because of COVID, they had to pack it up. And now in hindsight, everything seems to have worked out very well. What were your thoughts when that first happened, that you realized that this couldn't go on because of this, like, first time in our generation, a kind of pandemic has hit and all of a sudden you can't display your work? Was that like a scary thought for you? Did you say, well, you know, whatever, it'll happen? Or were you positive? Were you negative? How does the artist behind the work feel when something like that happens?
Okay. My mind goes back to last year, believe it or not, of what I was feeling. And this is why I'm actually, they say why I do what I do. I'll take last year's example. In December, I traveled to Greece to hand the exhibition over to the president. I was there for a week before, and it was the build-up. All the team from the Athens War Museum was there. Everybody, the army. Don't forget, the garrison is a military base, so a lot of things happen. That morning, I was supposed to present it. It was on a Thursday morning. Got up, had my breakfast upstairs at the hotel, came back down, started getting dressed, put my tie on, and I saw the Admiral calling me. Okay, it's probably just check if I'm coming. The minute I heard, "Good morning, Nick, how are you? How have you been? Is everything okay?" I knew he wasn't checking in. And then he goes, "Got some unfortunate news." I go, "What is it?" He goes, "Well, the president's been overseas to Switzerland and various countries, and she's come down with a small bug, and she won't be able to attend today. She might be out for 5 days. What do you want to do?" And I looked at it and I'm going, deja vu, 2020, about to present an exhibition. She's sick. I said, "Look, I'm dressed. I'm coming up. So I'll meet you in the office at the presidential building there." So I went up there and they go, "What do you want to do?" I go, "I'll stay." I said, everything happens for a reason in life. Nothing in life is a disappointment. It'll always be better when things getting delayed. And it was. With the 2020 exhibition, it was actually going to be in Sydney only. It was just going to be a Sydney-based exhibition. It turned into a national exhibition because His Eminence saw this work and he goes, "I wanted to go around Australia as part of the 200-year celebration, the 2021.
Yeah.
That was the good thing that came out of that. The good thing that came out with the president's delay was I took this incredible photo that no one's ever seen before at the Acropolis on the Sunday morning. It was 5 degrees and this rainbow appeared. And I took another incredible photo that morning, and then it gave me time to reflect exactly what's going on here. I stayed another 5 days. It happened on the Tuesday. And then all her staff members and a lot of people actually came and saw the exhibition because it was set up and everybody was so impressed. And when I did meet her, I was more prepared mentally than I was before. And I'd taken that photo and everybody was talking about that photo and we were showing that photo to her and everybody in the military was seeing it. And yeah, I'm always a believer of if things get cancelled or things don't happen, it's always meant to happen because that's part of the game. That's part of the program. It is always something better always to happen. I'm always on the front foot. You know, initially I went, shit. And I'm like, no. And then I'm like, okay, what's the reasoning behind this? It's going to be better. And it was. It always is. Second time round or third time round, it comes better and you have that feeling, yeah, this is the shit. It happened. You know what I mean? So
Well,
yeah,
that's the right attitude to have.
yeah, I'm very much on the front foot, always on the front foot, and just see it's going to be better, and it always is because you program it to be better. That's
So
what.
Nick, what's been the response from the Aussies? Not the Greek ones, the actual
Well, believe it or
Idokis.
not, I went to America. Oh, sorry, I'm going to America soon. I'm coming, guys. I'll let that
We
one
got to
go.
bring this to America, by the way.
Oh, yeah, it is. It's coming. It's coming. Okay. Last year I only had the fundraiser in Australia. Prior to that, and it actually happened in Brisbane again. Brisbane again got stopped twice due to COVID restrictions, and Queensland was very strict too, as well as Melbourne. So basically from there, what had happened was people come into this exhibition with a sense of looking around, seeing, and then all of a sudden they feel like they're in Greece, and then all of a sudden you've got tears everywhere. The amount of tears, I had to have a tissue box half the time because people will just stop and cry because especially the older people, it's like looking for a window when you see these photos. It's like looking for a gateway to Greece. You saw it, Angelo. You're looking at it and you're like, it's like a window to Greece. All these photos there, they've got some kind of code where it just sends you straight to Greece. And the amount of emotions, amount of people crying, the amount of people just standing there wanting to be there was incredible. In Adelaide, they bought the nursing home. The nursing home was next door to where we were hosting this, the Greek nursing home. And they were wheeling the older people through the exhibition in their beds, and they were crying, take me back to Greece in Greek, take me back to Greece. I want to go back to Alada. And they just, yeah, that's the whole, and in Melbourne, the bishop, he came in Melbourne and they were supposed to start at 7:00. He got stuck at that photo, the one that you saw, Angelo, of the three F's with in front of the Cinema Square. He was there for half an hour because he was reminiscing his childhood being there, standing there for half an hour, and everybody, you couldn't say anything to the bishop, and everybody's looking at their time. It's 7:30 and we're supposed to start at 7, but everybody respected because he sat there, tears were coming out, and he was gathering people around. That's the emotion this exhibition presents.
How does that make you as an artist feel that your work has such power over people?
Well, I sit back and I watch what's going on and I'm going, it's worth it, because the amount of time, the time and money they invest means nothing when you see people gravitating, the light shining in this exhibition and people are just gravitating to it. You know you had a purpose in life. It's not so much, oh, look at me, ego. It's not. It's about why I was placed in these sacred ceremonies. You got no idea. Nobody can take these photos. Nobody is ever allowed to take these photos, but I always was. Why was I always allowed to take these photos that were sacred? Why was I always allowed to take, like, look at this one here. It's the Acropolis. This is the version 2, Angelo, the one that you don't have.
That's the one I loved.
Yeah, it's second. Yeah, this is the second edition. And like, has anybody ever seen an Epsoner do this?
No.
Right.
No.
No. Why was I?
But Nick, let me add to this.
What does that mean?
But let me add to this. I want to get back to you. Your pictures they always say a picture tells as a thousand words. Yours represents almost a million lives. And what I was mesmerized by, and this is a gift that you have, when I saw the pictures up Darling Harbor, and then you gifted me this beautiful book. You have this ability to take something so precious for Greeks. They represent freedom, as far as I'm concerned, the Ebzones, right, guys? And when you see I can see why the Archbishop was mesmerized by it. I was. And guys, if you see the pictures in this book, you're going to be like, wow, like it's not like where you look at it and you flip over, you're sitting there staring at it. And you're like, it's almost like you're able to take, like Da Vinci did that with the Mona Lisa, which is a different parallel. On your pictures, it's almost like you're taking people and bringing them into your picture. That makes sense? And you're looking at it and you're like, well, when I saw it, I remember Syntagma Square, the Acropolis. But the symbolism, I think, is where the Greeks especially attach themselves to it. It happened to me. I even mentioned it in my show in Sydney. I said, look, if you guys get a chance, you got to go see this. And I mean, I'm just, coming in from the States now. But at the same time, I think what the gift that you have, and I think you aren't aware, like you said, you put all the time and effort into it. Your payoff is watching how people react to these photos, but they're beyond the photo. I don't know how do I fucking explain it. It's like it really is. It's like a glimpse. It's like taking you there. Like there's a one where all the Ebzones are walking on the Vounneau there with the Acropolis. It's such a iconic. It's like they're going to fucking war when you're watching it. You know what I'm talking about, Nick? And you're looking at this, and this is the ceremonial guard, and it's really dope.
This one here.
That's the one. Show it to the guys.
It's Marbles to Mountains, and it's one of the most favorite in the exhibition. Look, what can I say? It was always meant to be, and that's the bottom line. Like, what do I get out of it? Well, it's my path in life to etch in history the Ebzones and capture them for generations to come.
Wow.
That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. And like Angela,
you did it quite well, my friend. Very well.
Where
and this photo here is actually called Freedom or Death. And that's just before they raise the flag on a Sunday morning at 8 o'clock. They wait for the church bells to sound across Athens at 8 o'clock, and then they start raising the flag. And that photo was there, and they're just waiting there. And that symbolizes the Evzon jumping over, it's
Eleftheria y Thanatos.
Everything the Evzons wear, what they do, symbolism, it's everything, the thread, to the last thread, to the teardrop that comes down, that string that comes down, everything is got a meaning. It's not just a costume just made up and they're just wearing it. It's entrenched in history, and that's what I've captured.
Nick, where can people get your book? I mean, we're going to link everything, but can you tell the audience where they can see this?
You can go to greece2021.com.au or type up the Ebzones collection. It comes up because, again, it's not something that's out there a lot. The Ebzones collection or greece2021.com.au. And you follow the links. It's got the book in there. It's got all my stories. It's got where I've been. It's got all the photos, all the videos we've done. I was on Earth last year. It's got everything. Yeah. At greece2021.com.au.
Wow.
So moving forward, wheels have been in motion for about 1.5 years now to come to America. Logistically, it's huge because we're redoing an exhibition just for America. We're reprinting again, like we did in Athens, but in America, it's going to be bigger because we're going to hopefully Boston, New York, Washington, Chicago, one other place.
You going to LA?
Okay. We'll probably leave it in Chicago and then we'll come back and do LA because I'm planning to I want to be with the exhibition for 3 weeks touring this. So, and that's going to happen hopefully next year. And wheels are really in motion now. We're just trying to finalize the venue. So I will definitely let you guys know when,
Yes.
if it eventually.
Yes, you have to
eventually,
because we
but
can put it to our network, Nick. We can put
Yeah.
it through
Yeah,
to let
absolutely.
people know
New York,
where your exhibition's going to be. We do that.
the hardest thing is finding venues. That's the hardest thing. Like
Oh.
logistically and all that can be worked out. Financial will work that out, but venues, the right venues is hard. So that's where we're at the moment. So yeah, that's what's happening.
Wow, I mean that's a great story, a great artist. I actually haven't seen the book myself, but man, I look forward to seeing it because everything you described is amazing.
You can just go to Angelo's house because he has a copy.
Oh, yeah, Angela, what kind
I have
of
a copy signed by the author.
Oh, wow.
That's me, not you.
Okay.
Well,
Angelo,
Nick, I mean,
I know I'm seeing you in a couple of weeks, Angelo, but unfortunately I won't be at your show because I'll be in Perth doing shooting because I'm the director of photography for Greek City Times and we'll be going to Perth to shoot George Kambosos, world champion fighter, fighting Lomachenko that weekend.
Trying to
So
get him on our show too, by the way.
George, yes, definitely after he finishes with Lomachenko, yeah, definitely get George on the show. He's an amazing story too. He went to Vegas and won there, but I will see you and you'll definitely see, you'll definitely see version 2 of the book.
absolutely. And Nick, I mean, it looks amazing. I think everybody out there watching and listening, definitely make an effort to check this out. It seems incredible. Yeah, and Angelo keeps raving about it. He doesn't rave about many things, so
I don't.
Yeah,
but I'm going to see you and Bill, and they're very rooted in the community. And I'm happy you came on the show. But before we let you go, Forty has some questions for you. We do this little thing. Nick, that we bring on a guest to get I'll give it to Forty.
Thank you, Angelo. So outside of knowing that you're such an amazing artist through your work, Nico, we'd like to get to know you a little bit more through these 3 questions we're going to ask you, as we ask all of our guests. Being that are you born and raised in Australia?
Yes, born and raised. I was born in Queensland, actually. I grew up in Brisbane, where I just had the exhibition 2 weeks ago. So, yeah.
Excellent. So,
where are your parents from in Greece?
Peloponiso and mum's Mekrasiati, Asia Minor. My yaya was one of those in Smithy, the little kid that was jumping over bodies to hop on the boat.
Wow.
All right, so here we go. So first question for you, Nico. As a Greek Australian, when it comes to our Greek cuisine, are you a fan of octopodi or fried calamari?
Fried calamari.
Or fried calamari.
Yeah. Octopodi, you need only octopodi is the only time you have that for myself is when you have the burner. And you see it hanging all afternoon up on the string. That's when you have it.
That's when it's the tastiest, right? When it's so dried out on that
Correct.
clothesline.
Calamari is good all round, but octopodi, especially because I go to Kithera all the time. In Kithera, there's a place there that does it. They hang it. Uzo, bang.
I agree. And that leads to the next question.
Go.
Uzo or tsipuro?
Tsipuro.
Tsipuro.
Does the job quicker.
Well said. Well said. And the last question for you, Nico, before we end off. Hellenic cafes or frappes?
Oh, that's a tough one.
That's a tough one.
What time of the day it is.
Depends on the mood.
It's a tough one. The Hellenic cafe is in the morning, but the frappe is sitting back, just watching world go past in Greece. I would say the frappe, because you know what? I love just people watching and just looking what's going past.
Agreed.
I like Greek coffee. It helps you poo. It helps you poo better. Greek coffee in the morning.
Quick
Thanks.
coffee in the morning, that goes quick, but then the frappe will last for an hour on your €3.50 and you're taking up their check.
I mean, all these three questions are so important part of our culture, isn't it?
It is. Both of them, you asked the question, but I can relate to both, and they're both at different times of the day or different times of your life or wherever you are. You will have that. They're both amazing. They're all amazing things that you
All
say.
right. I mean, great interview, Nick. Amazing work that you're doing. Angelo, thank you so much for introducing us. We definitely suggest very much that people go out and check this out online, order, however, go to Angelo's house and check it out, or whatever you have to do. But Nick, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for being with us. Thank you so much, Foti. Angelo, as always, pleasure
Thanks,
with you
man.
being with us. And
See
everybody
you in a
out there,
couple of weeks.
yeah. And everybody out there, thank you for watching and listening. And we will see you guys next time. Thank you, Nick. Thanks, everybody. Foti, Angelo.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.